Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. I am honestly, legitimately, frightened for all of you. And I know that, it's my fault you're in this situation, but
yeah,
I'm still, I took a look at this map and I was like, okay, this is going to be fun.
There's a really easy solution for that, Adam.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting, yes.
Remove the danger. Oh my gosh.
Listen, if you were the only 4 people in all of Ravnica, you'd still be in just as much danger. It's not really.
I mean, you don't blame gravity because you jumped off a building, right? Like
you
don't do that.
You do blame the parent for watching their kid play in traffic.
Well,
guys,
yeah, I mean, we can blame God, so I guess we could. Yeah.
No, we have to blame the one who's truly at fault, Torgor, for agreeing to be into
Torgor.
all of this. All of this is his own.
And I was so relieved when you didn't say it.
No.
But I'm just so used to bullying at this point that I was like, oh no.
Katie, I'll say this.
Any
This
of you guys
episode,
today-
it's not your fault. This one.
That's the name of this episode. Jace Beleren Must Die, episode 24, the one where it's not Katie's fault.
Thanks to everyone.
The singular one.
I'd like to thank my family and my friends.
Well,
Road
enjoy
can
it.
get out of here.
Aren't neither your family nor your friends talking to you right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Those thanks fall on deaf ears, unfortunately. So how's everybody doing? Carlos, are you all ready for Roll20 Con?
Oh God, is anyone really all ready for Roll20 Con?
God knows I'm not.
Yeah, I just sent you stuff at midnight last night, I think. But yeah, there's a really cool intro video that I animated that I sent you that everyone will have. A lot of cool stuff going on. We're playing a lot of different games. It should be really cool, but it's going to be really hectic. I've planned to take basically the next week off just because it's been a month and a half of just preparation.
Yeah, it's all coming together. There's going to be those few moments at the beginning of the con where we're like, okay, here we go. Let's see how it goes. And then at the end, you'll be able to just collapse into an exhausted pile.
Yeah. It's apparently it's the curse of this company, right? Everyone who's done it has hates it. And it always goes to a new person every year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have to move it around. I mean, turns out organizing 2 straight days of stuff plus the t-shirt and the marketplace stuff, it's a lot. Yeah.
We're organizing an Adventure Leagues game at the same time, and it just doesn't end. But it's really cool. The t-shirt's really cool. That benefits Take This. I love that.
Yeah. The designer's really solid. It's very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. Are you? So you're
TwitchCon. You were at TwitchCon.
I was at TwitchCon. Yes, I'm exhausted as a result. It's good. TwitchCon's. It's interesting. It's a very they're still kind of figuring out who their core audience is. So some of it is really interesting. Some of it is I can meet with other partners and I can network and go to panels or beyond panels and stuff. And then others are having energy drinks thrust at you for 4 straight hours. The exhibition hall is aimed at one very specific audience, and then the rest of it feels like it's aimed at somebody else. But it was pretty good. Yeah. I got to play some games. We did a little Blue Jay and I did a little D&D Essentials kit kind of one-shot thing where she died in the first encounter, so that was fun. That's good. We spent an hour and a half just dicking around and looking at the rules and making a character, and then she got in one little fight and she died.
Got scared.
Yeah, it was the alternate script for Fresh Prince where he just dies before the show starts, I guess.
I got in one little fight.
Yeah, hard smash cut to a graveyard.
It's actually all an alternate reality that's taking place in his mind from a coma.
You need to stop. I hate this.
So his family in Bel Air they're not real and he's just a hallucination. Yeah.
I feel like I'm at a boardroom pitch for a gritty reboot.
It's all about the doctors that take care of
DC
him.
Comics reboot.
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you my name was Mark Miller. Actually, Masood is a shorthand for that.
Right. Good.
Oh.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I feel like what was it? There's a Canadian TV show that's the plot is basically that The Odyssey. That's what it's called. It's about a kid and he like falls out of his treehouse and hits his head and goes into a coma. And the show is like the alternate universe that his brain made up, and then sometimes the like hospital and like his family and like the real world, but all the characters are the same. So like the king and queen of his like weird made up fantasy world are his mom and dad, and then like the evil villain is like the bully, and you see them in the real world, and then the actors play both characters. It was actually kind of good for like a weird mid 80s Canadian like
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, right. Yeah, except with more head trauma than Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I think there's also like a Sandman comic kind of like where that plays out in a similar capacity.
Yeah.
But I think the baby is magical as opposed to coma.
I was having a conversation with Cicero Holmes on Rivals, and we were just talking about growing up. We didn't know that like there was television and movies in other countries. We thought there was like one. Like Mexico only has one station, guys. It's Telemundo, obviously. Like there are no other programs or movies like in Mexico. Just like how stupid Americans are, you know? Like we were just talking about like I had no idea. Like there was culture in other places. Like it's just so stupid.
I just love the way that you said Cicero's full name. I was speaking with
relevant.
Cicero Holmes.
I didn't want to say my friend. You guys know who Cicero is, but like people watching us might not.
I don't know who Cicero is.
It was just funny the way you said it. It's like that inflection is like, Cicero Holmes.
My esteemed colleague.
No. I say first and last names all the time.
Yeah, he and Mark Zuckerberg had this great.
Yeah. We're stage performers. We say full names when we talk to people.
Oh, you know my friend Tom.
I didn't go to college or whatever. Jesus.
That's how I address my my family members. It's not mom and dad. It's hello, Gail and Ken Coble. How are you today?
Oh, I know so many people like growing up that would call their parents by their first names, and I was like, ooh, no.
That's weird.
My dad would have beat me bow-legged.
That seems like a mild overreaction.
Yeah.
I've never.
I feel like he was waiting for you to mess up. Like I feel like he was waiting in the wings for that.
I did call my dad Eric when I was a small child.
And his name's Kyle. So yeah.
I don't think I've ever met a black guy named Kyle.
I don't think I've ever met an adult named
on
Kyle.
Twitter if you're
Kyle's will die at 13.
Yeah, exactly. All Kyles are like 13 or younger.
Permanent.
There's no adult Kyle. I'm sorry. That's just.
They all wear like lizard t-shirts. Really well in science class. Yeah, just t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
And they die as will be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I know any Kyles.
Button-down short sleeve shirts with the flames on the sleeves.
You're not wrong.
The only Kyle I can think of is Kyle Katarn, and he's a Star Wars character. So
Kyle Massey, you're so right, chat.
Who?
Kyle Massey from fucking That's
You
So.
don't even know. It's not a person.
That's so recent. And I'm trying to think the name of his spinoff, the White House one.
Corey in the House. Yeah.
Corey in the House is a That's So Raven spinoff?
Yes, it is.
I had no idea. Wow.
The dad becomes a chef for. Who is the president? Is it Barack Obama at the time, or is it no?
It was pre-Obama.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a shame.
I think. Now I don't know.
That show was wild.
It was wild.
I just love that statement. That show was wild.
It was Corey in the House was good. It was airing when I was like ending my childhood, I think.
Maybe that's why you thought it was good, Katie.
Well,
someone out there somewhere has definitely done like a D&D parody of that show called That's So Ravenloft, right? Like that's happened. It has to.
I would love that, since there's like prophecies and like seeing into the future and stuff. Right? That would be awesome.
Yeah, inevitably every one of those shows, even if it just starts as like a kind of like normal show about tweens, they do an episode of like there's time travel and there's a talking robot and it's like,
oh my gosh, yes. And if it was set in Darkon, then they can be going to the Mage Academy that's there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's time for a one shot.
Down real quick.
6
God
seasons
does
and a
not
movie.
want me to make this show. He cursed my pin.
Fair.
God.
That's fair.
Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't shake my fist at God.
Kyle
He
Massey
doesn't
was
want
on
me to have
Dancing
fun.
with the Stars.
Wow.
Did he
I
win?
learned so much. I learned so much when we go on our little Wikipedia dives in
That's
the
fun.
morning before we play.
I do know some adult Kyles. I just choose to not acknowledge them.
That's
Imagine
fun.
them.
Generally terrible.
Did you all
Famous
growing up
Kyles.
ever do Wikipedia races with your friends?
What is
No,
that?
this sounds like a thing that a nerd would do. Tell me more.
So you would sit in
Wow.
the computer lab, and you'd have you and your buddy would be at the same computer, and you'd random, and then you'd both have to try to get to one page only through hyperlinks. And
Yep.
so you'd click and click and click and click and click, and then like try to make your way around.
Oh, Masood.
Oh yeah, no.
Wikipedia
Your
races,
friend-
there are things.
Friend.
Yeah.
I like how you
My
said you and
buddy.
your friend. Yeah,
My
your
buddy.
buddy optional.
Optional. My
Sometimes if
good
you
friend
really-
Cicero Holmes.
Yeah.
For me, it was how
No.
quickly you would like decide on a page. It was like how quickly you could get back to Jesus, and like whoever got there is won.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
I can tell that I'm like in that middle place between the two older and two younger
Who is the
cast
old-
members.
Who are the older? Who are the
Katie and
younger?
Adam, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I had a computer lab in high school, but we didn't have access to internet. So it's like I'm in that weird like dead zone of like, oh yeah, the computer lab. Oh no, internet. Okay, well.
I would love
You guys
to.
take big moves.
So at the time, it was mortifying for me, but I would love to be able to dig this clip up. So my first year of 7th grade in middle school, the AV club did a little video.
Oh, no, here we go.
They did a little video. I wasn't in it. I wasn't like in the club because
Yeah,
I was in
okay.
grade 7. But they did a video at the beginning there where they interviewed a bunch of like new 7th grade like new students and asked them like how their first like days were going and what they thought was cool. And the clip of me in that video, I'm literally that internet kid like typing on the computer. Like I remember saying to the interviewer, they were like, so how do you feel about the middle name of middle school? And I was like, oh, the BBS is pretty cool. And that was that. We didn't have the internet, but we had an in-school bulletin board system, which I was very excited to use my 14.4
God,
modem
I
to
never
dial
heard
in.
that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
my computer studies teacher was very cool.
Adam.
I can remember one of the most mortifying times of my life, and I will share it right now.
Please.
It was like, God, day 5 or 6. No. It was the last day of improv level 1 at Second City. And
Okay.
they let us do a scene with other people. And I will also preface this that my future wife is in that class. Like I met her in that class, right? And I went out and it was freeze. So like freeze is two people are doing a scene and then you say freeze and you tag one out and you take the place and you start a new scene.
Same body, same. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was so bad and I was so embarrassed, guys. Like I'm getting red just thinking about it.
I'm ready.
I didn't know what to do. So I powered down like a robot. That is the most cringy, horrible thing in the
I
entire world.
as
You can feel the cringe.
Carlos.
I just like I feel your brain doing what you
Carlos.
like. I deep shame, just stopping and like. I wish I was your teacher in that moment.
like-
I would have. Oh,
It's like the equivalent
my
of an
God.
animal being so scared it just fakes being dead. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here. I'm dead. I'm out. It's over.
Fakes being a dead robot.
A dead robot. Yeah.
I tried not to laugh like super hard, but I
it's-
can't. I'm just imagining it, and it is.
It's so bad. It
Beautiful.
hurts. I've never, and I will say that in my time in improv, I've never seen anyone do a worse scene than that scene.
Well, of course you would think
Good,
that.
Yeah, that's good. Because now
if it makes you feel better, you know it was funny. And that's kind of the whole point. It's super funny. We love it.
No, it's like that. An improv scene gone badly is like the most unique.
It's
really like emotionally scarring.
And it's like it feels to me like there's a wave of negative energy that starts with like the reason that it's bad and just washes over everyone in the room, and all of a sudden everyone is just like, I wish I wasn't here. Like, I wish I was somewhere else. And this wasn't happening.
I'm crying.
It's not happening to me, but I don't want to be here or anywhere near this.
There's also the feeling that it could happen to me.
Right, yeah.
Like, there is that feeling too. Like, I
have to do everything in my power to ensure I am not this good.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God.
Like watching someone put their hand in a blender. You're like, I have hands. I own a blender. This is bad.
And just watching it, and like no one can help you because you're just there. And it's like,
I feel like there's no better segue into the game than that. Like, speaking of inescapable scenes of horror,
I was just about to say someone should have tagged you out and started something new. So perfect tag. That's a supportive cast member you want.
Yeah,
that's what I needed. I did not get that.
No. Well, thankfully, everybody, you're all kind of in it together now. When we last,
no one's going to tag Torgor out.
Yeah, there's no one to tag Torgor out with his two hit points.
A giant an Orzhov, a giant robot will tag me out, guys, with his sword. It's gonna be great.
Torgor pretends to power down the
He was a robot the entire time.
Yeah,
the entire time.
It's not me. It's Torgor bot.
I'm crying. Stop.
Gorbor's actually short for Gorbot, guys. It's a whole
No, I feel like in this situation, what would really happen would be that Torgor would like get killed or captured by the Orzhov, and in a fit of loneliness, Winnegar would make a robot version of Torgor to be his best friend. Right, like this is where it turns into the 80s sitcom of like me and my buddy Torgor forever, and Torgor's just like a robot, like beep,
me just like pushing ice cream into its face.
Let's go to the circus, Winnegar.
Winnegar, you are the best friend I've ever had.
Yeah, it's like Denver the Last Dinosaur, but with Torgor.
Oh God.
Oh man.
That is the worst thing to happen to him.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. You may yet survive, friend Torgor. We have.
Thank you for brightening my day.
We have a Torgor with 2 hit points, a Gorbor with 16. Road, after a brief scuffle with Scoops, is down to 6. Down to 6 hit points. Old knife throwing Scoops. And and when we last left, there was a burning manticore body, a manticorpse, if you will. There were thralls, winged thralls, floating around above the arena. Total chaos within. And I think probably the establishing shot of this episode would be initially like a fairly peaceful shot, like a wide shot from far away of like just Ravnica and the sound of rain and kind of the background noise of the city. And then the sound of the free-for-all horn in the distance. And then we would cut to the chaos. So there are members of the Rakdos, the cult of Rakdos, in the stands, just randomly murdering people or each other. Total chaos in the stands. Down below, the dead snake and the manticore body. And we pan up across the burning corpse. We see Winnegar and Torgor and Gorbor all shoulder to shoulder, backing away towards the iron portcullis. And on the other side, having squeezed or teleported through, we see Tack and Road. And then finally, at the very back, as we kind of pull the pan up, we see the light, the illumination of the like lighthouse panel on the front of the Orzhov Giant's helmet. And the spotlight falls on all of you, right? It's aimed at Torgor, but we get this harsh white light, sudden long shadows played away from the giant. And the giant points his axe in Torgor's direction. And we hear echoing from under the helmet, Torgor, dead or alive, you're coming with me. And he takes a step forward. And Torgor, it is your turn. What are you going to do? I know you've had some time to think about this, but
I've had some time to think about this.
What do you want to do?
I think Torgor shouts, No, I have time left. All right. This is too early. It's fine. Just give me an address. I'll meet you there tomorrow. All right. Just not. And he like turns around and he like looks and he's like, because he realizes he doesn't have his hammer. He's kind of running low. Everyone's still around. Like, what is better, fighting a full health giant or a circus of chaos that he kind of knows in some capacity?
Right. Yeah.
And so,
well, and as you turn back around to look into the arena, right, we see the the dead old lady after they got shoved off of the stands, and we look at him. You can see Scoops walking towards you, and he's not looking at you. He's still looking at Road. Yeah. And as we pan up in that direction, you can see Kerfuffle sitting up on the little like ringmaster throne, just like rubbing his hands with glee and laughing to himself. He's the only one not participating in the chaos. He's just watching.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Does he notice the thralls in the sky?
Yeah. He doesn't seem surprised or bothered by their presence.
Perfect. I turn back and I shout at Kerfuffle. I be like, look at the show we have made. Look at this decadence, this debauchery we have created. It got so rich that they're trying to shut us down. They're trying to shut me down, Kerfuffle. Your biggest moneymaker.
And Kerfuffle leans back, and since it's the beginning of the fight, all the fighting's happening in the background, and so you have some time to like dialogue. And for some reason, despite being like 60 feet away, just have like a normal conversation.
I shout it with my bullhorn that I've got.
Underneath. And he has his like ringmaster magic, so everybody can hear him. But this time when he speaks, Torgor, you are the only one that can hear him. It's as if he's whispering into your ear directly, and he says, "Oh, Torgor, you ignorant cow! It's not about that at all. You're too ambitious, my boy. I can't have contenders for my throne." And he just kind of like steeples his fingers and he's like, "I heard about your debt. I reached out to a few friends in the syndicate. Time to kill two birds with one stone." And he snaps and like points at you, and some of the thralls like turn and kind of start wheeling in your direction. So it is your turn. Their exits are, I guess, up and over the back wall, or through the gate, and into the back hallway. And then I guess potentially there's some kind of like tunnel underneath the arena as well, where the snake came from.
You would know, right? Because this is Torgor's house and home.
I know exactly the layout that would lead into and up out, and how they would draw, at least like get them there. Yeah, because I've done it before.
Yeah.
So, but you know that there are tunnels underneath there.
Absolutely. And they're not really, I would say, like deep, because they have to like move pretty quickly from place to place. And so they're more like a ramp that leads to a shallow sort of position underneath the Colosseum. Mm-hmm. So like they're just going to dig out into an area where all the other beasts are kept, like an actual.
Yeah,
like,
chances are like it's a menagerie down there, right? So you'll drop down into a holding cell, and then from there would be a bunch of tunnels, and the tunnels would have other cells with like lions and tigers, crunches,
and not all of them are connected but some of them, the gate in doesn't lead out because they have to like herd them one way.
Yeah,
so it would also be tricky underneath, but an option. In the meantime, Torgor walks forward and just looking at this area, tries and kind cuts as close as he can to. I'm gonna put my. It's 45 for. Let me see how much distance it is from me. Dun, dun.
I know. Sorry, I'm measuring.
No, you're good. Oh, you're perfect. Okay. Torgor. Well, actually, I could dash 60 feet and basically make it to the exit out here.
Yeah. Now remember that exit is up, right? Like this is a solid wall. You'd have to run and like scale it. It's a 10-foot wall all the way around, except for under here with the green.
Torgor is going to do what Torgor does best. Actually, he's going to get into a 3-point stance and just dash.
Okay.
And he's going to dash as hard as he can to the gate. Actually, not so much that way.
Yeah.
Towards the fire breather, directly at him and do Goring Rush.
Yeah. So you're just gonna run up to this guy.
I'm gonna run up to him and hit him with my horns and try to like knock him prone as fast as I can. Because now also, as much as it pains him to hear that kerfuffle sold him out, Torgor is invigorated by this. It means he was feared and respected enough to be viewed as an honest threat. And like, for someone who hasn't had purpose and lived in debauchery for it, he's like, oh, my purpose is greater debauchery.
Yeah, and it's a little bit underhanded. It's a little bit underhanded of Kerfuffle to call in another guild into what would normally be considered, internal Rakdos business. But I mean, he's obviously threatened by you, so that's nice. That's a nice thing to hear.
So, and also like,
have you shouted anything to us? Do we have any inkling? Because we don't know about your betrayal or where we're going. So have you said it?
I think this is what happened. Torgor just like, you just see him suddenly like kind of crouch over and like relax his arms, crouch down, put his hand on the ground and be like, this way. And then just books it and like is full off sprinting as hard as he can towards that guy.
Okay.
And I make a melee attack with my horns.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, 20.
Yeah,
you hit him.
And then do 6 piercing damage.
All right. And then he has to make a save, right?
Against, hammering horns. You have to do a strength saving throw against a DC equal to 8 plus my proficiency bonus and your strength modifier. Okay. So 11 plus 5 is 16.
Okay.
Plus...
Well, he got a 12. So and what is it? You can either knock him back or down?
Just shove him away 10 feet. So I want to shove him 10 feet into the wall.
Yeah.
And like,
Okay. Yeah. So you run forward, slam into this fire eater, and he gets thrown back against the wall. I think this was the guy that was menacing Winnegar earlier that had the chain. So you slam into him. He goes flying back 10 feet, hits the wall, and is definitely out of your way.
Cool. And then with the rest of my dash, well, actually, can I carry him to there? Because like exactly to where he is, a part of the dash action. Can I is that possible?
Yeah, let me see. So immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack as part of the attack action, you can use a bonus attack to shove him. If you have 5 more feet, you can carry on and finish your attack action. You can hit him with a rapier or whatever too. Oh
well, I think I'm out of. If I dash, that's my action, and then I don't think I have any more attacks left.
So you move, which you can do for free. Then you can do your what kind of action is your Goring Rush? Here we go. Immediately
Goring Rush.
I'll have to use the dash action to move 20 feet. Right. You can make a melee attack. Okay, cool. So you still have a full move left.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
You can still move.
And then then I'll just end this fire breather.
Okay.
I'll make an attack with my rapier on him. Let's see.
You got an 11. That is not enough to hit him, unfortunately.
Cool.
So you maybe like take him by surprise in the first hit and throw him back against the wall, and he staggers. But when you turn around and lunge at him with the rapier, I think he wraps the chain around your wrist and pulls the rapier aside, and then you hit the wall so it doesn't get you. Cool. So the two of you are now locked in combat.
Awesome.
Then
I shout at Kerfuffle, be like, "You're next!"
And so he just laughs and leans back and claps. He's just like, "Oh, we'll see about that, dear." And then the Fire Eater attacks you with the chain. So here we go. First swing of the chain, I get an 11. So you duck out of the way, and it whips over your head. And then he swings the other side around and whips it at you and gets a 16.
That ties.
Okay, so it hits your armor class. All right. So the chain, he lashes out with a blade. So it's like it's a big chain with like basically a sword on the end, a big like curved blade. And so he swings the blade at you. I think you duck, and then the back end of it, he whips out and it wraps around like one hand in your neck, and he like yanks you towards him, and hits you for, let's see, 7 damage.
And Torgord is unconscious.
All right. Down goes Torgor.
What a surprise that was.
Okay.
So, when this guy yanks you in, we can see he has the blade and he's about to like stab you with it, and Kerfuffle shouts, now boys, keep him alive, remember the deal. And so instead of stabbing you in the neck with a knife, he hits you in the head with his his elbow instead. So you're at 0, you're not bleeding out. He does non-lethal damage and knocks you out.
Okay.
So the other Fire Eaters, let's see if they have more targets. Yes, this one is going to run over here. And these 2 people are burned to death by fire. And then, are there any other Fire Eaters? I think maybe just those 2. Okay. Cool. Winnegar, it's your turn.
Oh my God. So, it was a shit show. Who is by? So, if I want to get up to Torgor, I have to pass these 2 thralls, and
so they're up in the air. They haven't had a turn yet, so they're like basically coming down to the ground. Let's see, 30 feet. So, yeah, you might be able to get to Torgor. You'll get to Torgor, and then they'll land, right? So they're flying down from above right now.
Okay. I want to. They won't get an attack of opportunity if I.
No, you can run past them right now. They're safe.
Okay.
They're up above.
Cool. Yeah. I want to. Damn. How does the sleep spell work in this situation?
So when you cast it, it starts with the people with the lowest hit points and then works its way up, and you spend hit points to knock people unconscious.
Torgor is already unconscious.
Yes, that's right. Torgor will be unaffected by the sleep spell.
Cool.
So, yeah, what is it? It's like a 20-foot square?
It's 20 feet. Yeah. Okay. So if I kind of get in the middle and cast it.
Is it a 20-foot radius or a 20-foot?
Let's see.
Like, is it?
It's 20 feet of a point you choose within range.
So it's anything within 20 feet of. So you pick a point, and then it's 20 feet out from there.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I would probably only be able to hit like 1 thrall in the Fire Eater, maybe.
Well, let's see. Like 20 feet out, it's pretty big.
It's a circle. It's not a circle. It's just
like, imagine if you targeted Torgor with it, it'd be like this. Let's see if you can see that aura. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you get this guy, but remember, it starts with, you have to roll really well, and it'll start with the person who is already the closest to being dead, and it'll knock them out, and then it'll climb up from there.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Can you move it to try? I did a decent amount on scoops. Is there a way to get it where you can get scoops in the Fire Eater?
Yeah, I'll make a little movable like sleep spell that we can kind of float around and see what it looks like.
Yeah, let's see the sleep option.
You don't have you also do have a personal vendetta against Scoops. Scoops betrayed us. Please.
Yeah.
Knock him
I
out.
don't know that though. Do I?
You saw him throw knives at me. I am your friend.
He did say
that's
that
true.
he was specifically going to screw over Torgor and get his job.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and your best.
But that might be not enough for you. You know, you're your own person. He's got interesting engineering. I'm just saying, keep him open. That's all.
Yeah.
So
For
I
a
think
guild that's all about telling the truth.
Yeah, this is a 20
got betrayed a lot.
this is a 20 foot. So the little ZZ is the point. Sorry, ZZ for our American listeners. This is this is the point of origin for the spell, and then let me set it so you can see the aura around it. So there you go. So there's the sleepiness aura. So you can, anywhere you place this, anyone that's within that blue zone. So you can get 1, 2, 3 thralls, the fire breather, and scoops in the spell. You don't want to target yourself. You can put it there. Or you can move it over here and you can get this guy up there and that guy there. But it's not going to necessarily affect everybody. Depends on how well you roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scoops.
Yeah.
Scoops is pretty beat up too.
Yeah, move it over 1. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Cool.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay.
Scoops. What a jerk.
Scoops McKenzie, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. So what it's the number of dice is dependent on what level you cast it at, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna cast it at, let's see, what do I have?
So it's 5d8, and then if you cast it with a second level, it's 7d8. And if you cast it as a third level, it would be 9d8.
Yeah, I'll cast it at level 1.
Okay. All right. So roll 5d8. There we go. You can cast your spell. You got 19. Okay. So starting with the lowest, that affects Scoops. So Scoops just immediately takes a nap.
Hell yeah.
Down he goes. So he is, he's stalking towards the road with his knives in his hands, and he kind of gets a little wobbly. He's like, and just like falls over and drops his knives, and now he's lying in the dirt over here. So that leaves you with 11 hit points of creatures, and I don't think that the next highest thing has. Yeah, because the next highest is this guy, and he has more than 11.
Okay.
So you cast your spell, and down goes Scoops.
Down goes Scoops.
Yep. And so he's laying on his face, unconscious.
Can I run over to Torgor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, because you're well within range.
Yeah, right there by that old woman.
You want to be over here? Okay. So you run over. And there's this like old woman lying on the ground, and you see Torgor, and Torgor is like got a chain wrapped around his neck. And the old woman like reaches up weakly to you, like help, and like touches your.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah. So she's still kind of alive, and she's just like pawing at your shoe, trying to get you to help her.
I don't have time for you right now. Please, just go peaceful. People talk about old people
just
dying peacefully.
Just put a pillow on her face.
Why did you bring this pillow? Why did you make me do this?
Stop making villains, guys. You're making so many villains for us.
Can we spin the Can everybody whose turn it would be just forfeit our turn so that we have to watch Winnegar Mercy kill this old lady?
You go gently into that good night.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, she's still kind of alive. So do you want to? I guess you're unconscious now, Torgor. So I'm just thinking, who wants to play Gorbor this time? TK, do you want to keep playing as Gorbor? Do we want to pass? Do you want to pass him around?
I'll keep playing him.
Yeah, you want to keep him on a show? All right. Well, so Gorbor has just seen his beloved brother struck down by an Orzhov fire breather.
Never liked him that much.
What is Gorbor going to do?
Okay, so this giant is on the other side of this closed barricade. That is correct.
There's this barricade here, and Gorbor is just on the inside. Yeah, underneath.
Why am I pointing at my screen like you can see that? Anyway,
I figured it out.
All right, so I'm hanging out. Okay.
Like
Do I have reason to believe that this barricade will hold against this giant?
I mean, make a perception check for old Gorbor there.
Yeah.
You look over your shoulder at the gate. Let me look at how
Ripperoni.
strong this giant is.
Thanks for not putting anything in his perception. I appreciate
22.
that. Hey, it
Hey,
beat.
there you go. Okay. Let's see. I figure if the giant were to like grab it and like yank up on it real hard, I figure there's probably like a 50-50 chance that he'd be able to lift it off the ground.
Okay. Ooh, this is rough. And Winnegar's right by Torgor, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cast a spell because like if it's 50-50 for that giant, he's gonna take a whole like Gorbor doesn't know how to think in turns, but does know that the giant cannot lift the thing and then come after them.
Yeah. Well, the giant's got to go through tack and road first too. So
yeah, that'll take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Wink.
One of them's about to biff bam out of there, and the other one's controlled by me. So
I think it gets a turn before I go, so I may just be
Ripperoni actually gets a turn before both of us. So
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Rip. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast Scorching Ray on this fire eater over here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's mine. Wait, do I wanna
This
do-
one?
Yeah.
Or
let me
the
see
close
if
one
I-
to you?
The one that's nearest Torgor and
Okay.
Vinegar. No, it's okay, computer. I don't want to scroll down. That would be ridiculous. Oh, it doesn't scroll down anymore. That's my fault. I'm sorry, computer. Yeah, Scorching Ray. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast that
Okay.
nonsense.
nice.
All right. The
Nice.
first
that's
ray.
the wrong. Did I?
No, you did it.
roll?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, first
cool.
ray's a hit. You got a 23.
Do I just get the one?
No, you should have 3. I think by
I
default,
should
Scorching Ray is 3, and then you add them as it goes up.
I know we discussed this last week, but
No,
I'm
it's
still
okay.
gonna look at it. Yes, 3. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so roll damage on this first one because you may end up killing him, and then you can target somebody else with another ray.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at all of this on my Chromebook, which means
That's
that
okay.
I've got like a tack screen, a Gorbor screen, and then regular screen.
Yeah, just in the chat where it says Scorching Ray +6. Yeah, you got it. All right. Okay, so he's badly burned but still alive. You want to hit him with another one?
And then one more again.
Okay, that's another hit.
Okay. Boop.
Okay, he's dead. So the fire breather that grabbed Torgor, hits him. Torgor falls to the ground,
Okay.
and the fire breather is like lurking over him, and he's about to like grab him and drag him away, and then 2 scorching rays of pure Boros energy come flying out of Gorbor and hit this guy, turning him he basically gets terminated, right? Just turns into a skeleton on fire.
Okay.
You have one more scorching ray that you can direct somewhere else if you want.
The next closest, I have them in my notes as Rakdos Deviants.
Mhm,
The
sure.
next closest one to Torgor.
The close one to Torgor. Oh, there's one up here in the stands.
Oh, okay. What are these people? Oh, those are the flying ones.
yeah.
Yeah, these
Okay, those are
thralls.
flying ones. Okay, that's fine. I guess I'll.
You could probably hit one of them if you like the one that might be landing close to Winnegar.
What's the range on those? 120 feet? Yeah, I want to hit the one that's landing close to Winnegar then.
This
Since I've
guy
got
up here?
120 feet
Okay.
range on it. Boop.
To answer your question, chat, what is the red stuff north of Torgor? That's old lady blood. It's a puddle of old lady blood.
Nobody knows how it got there. It's a
That's right,
a
it just
mystery,
spontaneously
and
existed.
We prefer not to talk about it.
Gorbor is killing it with the scorching ray. That is a hit.
Wow.
Roll your damage on this guy for all right, 6 fire damage. Excellent. So yeah, the dude up in the stands is basically like pulling his knife out of some random circus goer and doesn't even like know that he's about to get hit with a scorching ray. Hits him in the side, and he screams in pain and delight because he's
Pepperoni.
Arachnos. Cool. Do you want to move, Gorbor, or are you cool where you are?
Yeah, I think Gorbor because he saw Road disappear through the shadows and Tack squeeze through the bars. I think he's gonna just be like, okay, I don't know them, but they seem to have this under control, and we'll move closer to Torbor and Winokur.
Yeah, we've got it. We're fine.
Yeah. Plus, in his flaws, it's I'm slow to trust members of other guilds, so he probably doesn't prioritize either one of them.
Yeah, right. Because it's like maybe it's their fault. Because nobody knows besides the
This feels
unconscious
like their
Torgor.
fault.
Nobody knows that kerfuffle is why these people came up. So okay, all right. So you wanna move over there?
Yeah. Let me. I give him a. Boop. Is that?
Yep.
I think that was.
Yeah, 20
I don't
feet
know
over
how many
there.
feet that was. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
You got another 10 if you want to keep moving.
I don't remember how to do the arrow thing. How do you?
Oh, the like measuring?
You have to go. Yeah.
Yeah, so you click on the little ruler in the bar on the left, and then you can just left click and it'll measure out for you.
Mhm.
So you could be here. You can go step on this old lady.
No, Gorborn would never.
No, that's true. Gorbor's a good
plot
boy.
myself right there.
Okay. All right, Winnegar. So you hear the screaming of scorching ray lasers. You watch this guy get burned to a crisp, and then following up, Gorbor comes running over, and and now stands by your side as the thralls descend. So
dope.
meanwhile, up above, this Orzhov giant is stomping towards the battlefield, and I think he stops like about 10 feet away from the two of you, looks down, bathing you in his eye beam spotlight, and says, "Stand aside."
I do so. I'm immediately like, here we go.
Yeah, Tax, do you get out of the way too?
Well, first of all, nobody tells me what to do, but also I don't want to die. So yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Okay, so he
Not because he told me to, but because, I just felt like it.
yeah, he walks up, and the two of you kind of get pushed to the side, and he crouches down and grabs the bottom end of the portcullis and starts to lift. His big, pale, muscly arms straining against the weight. Let's see if he can lift it this turn. Nope. It's gonna take some time. So you can hear the machinery like groaning because it's not meant to be lifted this way. And so there's this, this creak of metal and the groaning as he like starts to lift, but doesn't have it open this turn.
Since he is ending his turn within 5 feet of me, I'd like to use my skirmisher to move 5 feet behind him.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I figure he kind of displaces the two of you, so you can
Sidestep.
Yeah, you can go kind of like there.
Just want to get in like prime GTFO territory.
Yeah. You now have you have a pretty clear exit from here. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I mean, exit. You run out. You won't run out into the streets. You'll run out into the like surrounding. There's like a I believe it's a vomitorium actually, around the back of the exit, and then from there out into the streets.
It's not the first time that I've escaped through a vomitorium, so
That's
it's
right.
probably fine.
Yeah. Okay, so the thralls, the two closest, I think, they are going to fly down to ground level. Okay, so they fly down here and they land, and they kind of like they're leathery fucking bat wings. This is what a thrall looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I like the chain.
Yeah, right.
They're
Orzhov, so they got to have a little bit of that gold on them.
Good front plate. Yeah.
So the two of them land and basically are like, all right, we're taking Torgor. They grab, and I imagine this whole time the like flying monkey music from Wizard of Oz is playing, like as they like land and like start grabbing Torgor. Each of them grabs one arm of Torgor's limp body. And goes to like they're gonna try to fly off with them, and I think this one will have to land and help too. Cool. Okay, so that's what those ones do. These ones kind of circle around a little closer just to kind of scope things out. Scoops is unconscious, so he just lays there and doesn't do anything. And then the other Rakdos knife jugglers. Let's see, do they have any targets? This one is going to come over here on his turn. This one's going to jump down and run over to Scoops. And then this guy will go here. So one of them has enough action left to attack Winnegar. So he does. All right. So this Blade Juggler jumps down and makes an attack on Winnegar. What's your armor class, Winnegar?
20 billion.
Wow. Winnegar's so cool.
I'm just walking around like this the entire time.
The actual number is 14. All right. So the first attack is a miss. The second attack, he hits you.
Woo.
You take 6 piercing damage. And then the third attack is another 4. So you take 10 total as this Blade Juggler kind of like spins away from around and cuts you up a little bit. Okay. Speaking of knife violence, Tack, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
TBH, kind of. Like, this isn't a situation where TK is going to take over. Because, like, clearly they have this under control. They're fine. I think Gorbor has like 2 spell slots left. Things are great. Tack's gonna give like Road a meaningful look and then out of there.
Road just like nods at them like
yeah.
Like,
so they're like, we should go, and Road's like, fuck yeah, we should.
Yeah. I'm here for one reason, and that reason is fulfilled. I yeeted an old lady into the arena. I ate as much cotton candy as I could fill inside of my goblin body. Things are going great. So Tack's gonna out of there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the giant is occupied with trying to lift this gate. So you you can take off if you want.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I'm gonna I mean, I'll peek around the corner like once to see if Road is still there. Like, you.
Yeah. So when you look outside the sort of Coliseum entrance proper, like you're down in the you're not leaving by one of the sort of civilian or like attendee, the audience exits. You're leaving into the back sort of infrastructure of the place. And so I think back here you can hear the sounds of high-pitched, fevered Rakdos giggling. There's like laughing and screaming and the sounds of violence kind of throughout because it's, they blew the free-for-all horn, so it's go time everywhere. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of like sort of chaos going on back here, but you don't see in this back hallway. You don't see anybody else like around. There's maybe like a blood stain on the wall, big like smeared handprint, but there's nobody around to see you.
So there's like, there's free for alling back here too. Oh boy.
Yeah, but it seems like it's like you're alone aside from like once you get around the corner and that giant is behind you. There's nobody in this back hallway.
Okay, I think
go looting. Just like go. There's a bunch of dead bodies. Go looting. Why not?
Yes, there are a bunch of dead bodies, but I can't help but feel like you're like, okay, fine.
No, really. I mean, like you were role playing perfectly. I think this is exactly.
To be honest, I think Tack will attempt to leave, but then like, I mean, if nobody's here, I do need a souvenir. My mom will be pretty mad if I don't bring one. I would like to see what there is that'll fit in my pocket.
Yeah, so you want to start seeing if there's any bodies you can steal from, or
heck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm mad at this.
So let's
seems like a mistake.
Let's see. Let's see. What's like a good scavenging? I guess probably survival. I guess would be the skill in this case.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So make a survival check. And I will ponder what you might be able to find.
You better not, chat. Don't try and talk me into this.
Nice.
I'm not going back to that giant.
Okay. All right. So you got a 15.
Yeah.
All right. So the last we see of you for now is you kind of like disappearing into the hallway to rob some bodies and see what you can make off with.
Doing what I do best.
Road, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I think that leaving is a serious consideration for her. And then she kind of remembers, like, I'm technically working. I am drunk. But this, if I let all of them die here. And so I think she's wearing that. But then she, like,
the thing is, if you look over, you see that Torgor is unconscious, not dead, and is being picked up by these thralls. Torgor knows, like, your real name and about the host in the shell and, like, all kinds of other useful information.
Yeah. Also, like, I think she, like, looks over at, like, Gorbor and just, like, has, like, some sibling feelings that she can't process. So I think that she's going to shadow step over to right next to Gorbor. I think that Scoops is off the table for now.
What's your range on shadow step?
60 feet.
Oh yeah, you're good. You can go anywhere. This is Han Solo coming back to help blow up the Death Star. You're doing it.
Exactly what it is.
I'm just saying, everybody loves Lando, and he didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not even going to notice that I decided to stay. It's so selfless. I think that's what she says.
Well, you just suddenly appear next to Gorbor, who saw you on the other side of the gate, and is like,
yeah, Gorbor's all covered in blood and fighting like a brave Boros to save his brother, and then Road appears in a burst of shadows.
Would Road be able to put pieces together that these grates would be a viable escape route?
You, unlike Torgor, you don't know what's on the other side. But it's a big snake, so there's got to be at least some room down there for big snake moving around, right?
I have dark vision, right? Yeah. Can I look down and see what's there?
From here you can only see the grate, and then like there's some kind of room or chamber below, but you can't see much from the angle you have is pretty bad.
Shit. Okay. Shit. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh God, how useful can I be right now? She's the least useful in this fucking situation. I'm so upset about it. I'm gonna scramble. This is Road's like, we're so fucked and I don't even know what to do. Yeah. Here's what I can do. I'm going to cast darkness in this 50-foot circle.
Okay.
Just to give us, because then we're all on equal footing, aren't we? So I think she puts like a hand, she like reaches down and like tries to get like a hand on Torgor and like puts on the grate. So she has like some sort of like sense of awareness. And then she like looks at Winnegar and like winks and then like casts dark. She's a little drunk. So she's like,
hey, look what I can do.
Oh yeah.
And then so yeah, I think that I think she's gonna shout like, let's get this grate open, and that's her turn.
So how big is is darkness? Like what does it, how much does it cover?
Radius. I can throw it in chat though.
It's got a 15-foot radius? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see here. So another 5 feet. Okay, so this would be how big the darkness is.
Cool.
Do you just want to cover, like, this will cover everybody, including the two goofs over here?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It's not great, but it is something. So.
All right. So Winnegar, a cloud of inky blackness suddenly emerges. What does this look like when you use this ability, Road? Is it like, I always envision it to be like ink and water, right? Because you're like,
yeah,
kind
that's
of
exactly
amphibious.
it. It's like tendrils out.
Yep. It spreads out around you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. It is suddenly extremely dark.
It's very weird. Yeah, and then she can't like try to get the gate over or anything because I did my action. So that's me. That's me.
Okay. Torgor, you are sleeping.
Not even making saves.
No, you're not dying. You're okay.
Okay.
They just knocked you out. Okay, Winnegar, there's still sound. You can hear the thralls, and I imagine that they're making like, I don't know if anybody saw this. There was a video floating around of the Foley for Halo, and they were like recording a pug like eating and breathing and making like weird little grunty pug noises. I imagine that's what a thrall sounds like a lot of like snuffling and drooling and like. Yeah, and they're definitely like
imitating puggies,
like Jim Henson Muppets, like the thralls for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so you can hear, you can't see them anymore, but you hear their little like grunting, muffled noises. And you have no idea where anything is in relation to you because it's dark suddenly.
Okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay,
and tell me if I can do it.
Sure.
I want to cast Fireball 5 feet in front of me and the Careful spell to protect my friends.
Let's talk about how sight interacts with those things.
Yes, because that's not what I had planned.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so a bright streak from your pointing finger to a point you choose within range. So you don't have to be able to see it to cast Fireball. So you can cast the Fireball. Okay. And then
20-foot radius?
Careful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want like 5 feet, kind of like where that Viper was, because I think that will get scoops.
Okay. And then let me find Careful spell.
Yeah, can I spend more than one sorcery point on Careful?
Let's see. When you cast a spell, that forces other creatures to make a saving throw, you can protect some of them. You spend one sorcery point and choose a number of creatures up to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. Chosen creature automatically succeeds on its saving throw. Okay. So it just means the Fireball will deal half damage to, like, it doesn't exempt them from the spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys.
It just means they'll only take half Fireball damage.
Yeah.
7 hit points.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
So you could exempt yourself and Road, but Road will still take whatever, 5d6 cut in half.
Yeah.
I have my thing where I can choose to succeed if I pass a saving throw yet. I feel like monks get it eventually, but I don't think I have
it is a dexterity saving throw. Oh yeah, do you have that thing where it's like...
Do you have evasion?
Yeah. If you have evasion, you'll take no damage.
That's actually like next fucking level.
You should have got... I think you should have got it at levels...
I feel like monks have evasion by then.
No.
I think I was 1 point away from leveling up, and I had
it is level 7. God damn it!
Monks and thieves are level 7.
So you're like, you could. There is a moment where if you had done better, you reflect on all the times you could have done better and how you'd be level 7 by now. But
okay, how about this?
How about you?
Then?
Let me get the gate open.
I cast Fireball on the dude, like that's 20 feet away in the stands, and then he hits those thralls and the guys behind us.
Let's see. Yeah, because he's 20 feet away from a lot of things. I'm gonna, for my own sake, I'm gonna move this out of the way for a second. Yeah. So 20 feet from this guy. I mean, you're also 20 feet away from that guy, but.
Do I get hit?
You'll get hit if you target this guy. Now you can careful spell yourself so that you automatically succeed at the save, but
that's cutting it so close, guys.
Yeah. It'll really depend on how you roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you put it behind him, it'll only hit 2 guys.
So
it's so weird how you have like magical sense that you know exactly how far away this guy is and you can target it without seeing him. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't care.
Or does have healing word.
I'll do the careful spell on myself. I'm gonna hit this guy. I'm gonna try to take out the other ones. Maybe I'll drop dead. Who knows?
Now you're living Rakdos.
Toad is not strong enough to carry anyone.
Okay, all right. So you spend the sorcery point. You hurl a bead of flame. It hits this guy in the stand and then erupts into fire. Nobody in the cloud, right? Road, Gorbor, like none of you can't see it. You just hear the roaring of the flames and feel the heat as it washes over you. The old woman next to you lets out a high-pitched shriek of pain as she's consumed by fire.
She's about to stand up.
Yeah. She's like, help me, young man. Oh, God, I'm on fire. And so the fireball just, erupts.
I want to believe that she survives the fire.
Well, that's the thing is she'll be found horribly burned like Dark Man. And she will swear revenge.
I need for her to be like our level 20 boss, where she's got like an eye patch and like.
This is Jace Beleren's mom.
Well, I was about to say later, like the burning ruins of the arena, we see, Jace shows up and like finds her, and he's just like, "Oh, what happened to you, Grandma? Let me take care of you." And he's like picks her up.
Yeah. She becomes This is her Planeswalker moment. You're doing her a favor.
Exactly.
Here we go. Fireball.
Fireball. Oh boy.
Okay, all right. 33 damage. Okay, so 33 fire damage. Let me make some saving throws here.
Did that take you out? Are you good?
Cool.
No, it didn't take me out actually.
Yes. Wow,
Okay.
Carlos.
So these are dexterity saves. Okay, the guy who gets hit directly is dead, just instantly burned to a crisp. The other two, because it hits. Let me see here, 20 feet out. Yep, hits both of those guys. Let me roll for them. One on the left. Okay, gets the save, so takes half. One on the right also gets a save, takes half. And what's half?
17, 16,
I think. Because it's rounded down, so it'd be 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of them, the one nearest you, dies. This one almost dies. And then the thralls, you hit 2 of them. So this one in midair, let's see, gets the save, so it takes half.
Wow.
Okay, and then the one over here on the ground that's grabbing Torgor, dex save gets a 18, and so it gets the save. Okay. All right, so you killed 2 blade jugglers and very badly injured 1, and crisped up these thralls pretty good. And you took 16?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to do, Winnegar?
I can't see anything, can I?
No, you're technically blind. Like you can feel like Gorbor beside you. You could kind of like reach around the pillar is like right here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the dead snake. So you can kind of, the thing about being blind is that no one can make attacks of opportunity on you. So you can kind of just stumble out of the cloud like this way if you want. Because you got 30 feet. So you got lots of movement.
Yeah, let me stumble a little bit around that pillar. Make my way around.
The pillar's like
like
here.
Touch the pillar and make my way to like right. Like right here, maybe.
Yeah, so you got to kind of like. Now, do you want to get out of the cloud of darkness?
Is this out of darkness or is that one?
Yeah, like if you're right there, this is, and you have to go around the pillar, so you have to go like this way.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that would put you outside the darkness.
Yeah, take me out of the darkness. I'll go there.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you fireball, and then we see the edge of the smoky cloud, and we see Winnegar stagger out, like still a bit on fire, which is a pretty normal way for an Izzet to be. You've been on fire lots of times.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you stagger out, and I think maybe you can kind of make out like Scoops' like arm sticking out of the darkness cloud over here.
Oh, Scoops.
Gorbor, what do you want to do? You're blind. You can still hear the grunting and snuffling of the thralls. You can feel them like pulling at Torgor.
I am blind, so I cannot.
See,
I can't cast Healing Word.
Can he?
My bad. I thought Healing Word was just words.
No. It turns out I have to be able to see. I just checked. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I believe I also. Yeah.
May I posit that since Torgor is unconscious, his distinctive snoring pattern has emerged that Gorbor has known since childhood, as they would share a room.
Yeah,
I would love to let you get away with this bullshit, but the spell specifically says that you can see.
Yeah.
In your mind's eye.
Okay, yeah. What does it mean to see?
If I can visualize and feel can a blind person not see an
Keep
orange?
Keep it in your pants, Zizek.
I think I don't know if Gorbor understands that Road cast darkness to help them. And then there was just an explosion, so that's cool. But Gorbor will.
Road it did mention to get into the grate.
Yeah. So Gorbor's like number one thing is opening the grate, like somehow figuring out how it opens. So that's like the main.
Okay. Yeah, right now, if you kind of like feel around with your feet while you're like fighting, the grate is somewhere like down here, and there's a thrall standing on top of it.
Okay. If there's, so there's a thrall standing on top of it. Is it gonna get an opportunity attack if I just like walk into it?
No, because you have to be able to see to make attacks of opportunity.
Neat. Oh yeah, you just said that. Cool.
So you can stagger around all you like.
I would like to pick up this thrall that is attempting, one of the thralls that is attempting to I assume it's trying to help take Torgor, and I would
their
like
agenda seems to be grab Torgor and get out of here. But Torgor's a big boy, so it's going to take several of them to fly off with him.
I want to grab it and beat it to death against the ground.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Is that grapple or?
Yeah, I mean, if your intention is to beat it to death, your best bet is to make attacks with your weapon.
Okay.
Because grabbing it, and you can flavor it as being involving a lot of pummeling in that way. But using your warhammer on it is the best way to get it killed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Actually, what I'm going to do is use my spiritual weapon. Is spiritual weapon a target you can see?
Yes, you have to be able to see the thing is more. It's more you have to be able to see the weapon to command it, and currently you can't.
That's fine. I'll do my warhammer.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hit. You get an 18.
Okay, and
these things are pretty. They're pretty unarmored. Okay.
And 9, and I believe
warhammer.
Just one sec. I believe because I am a war priest, I can do another weapon attack as a bonus action. So, yeah, I'm gonna hit him again.
Oh yeah, you sure can.
I sure can.
Oh right, and you can do that 3 times per rest. Okay, all right.
Oh heck yeah.
And you are at disadvantage in this because it's dark.
Okay.
But see, here's the weird thing about darkness is you have advantage. It evens out. You have advantage against a target that is blind, and you have disadvantage because you can't see it. So it's just regular attacks.
So for the second one, I seen the roll, but you haven't told me whether it hits or misses. I'd like to use my Channel Divinity Guided Strike to add +10 to the roll.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yes, you hit. The second one is a strike.
I did it. Good enough.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Gorbor, you feel full of the inspiration of the Boros Legion. Your mind is filled with inspiring images of flapping banners and like the great fortress walls. You imagine the Sky Fortress Parhelion, flying above you.
I definitely, I think the arena can hear him like bellowing, and he's just basically like, now I am the avenging angel, like just pummeling the crap out of these thralls that would dare to touch his brother.
And up above, we see Kerfuffle, and he's sitting with his like hand on his chin, and he's looking at the cloud, and he's like, "Oh, I can't see a thing from up here."
Oh no! Yeah, no, jump in, bud. The inky darkness is fine.
Yeah, it's great.
Why does Kerfuffle remind me of the Mad Hatter from the Disney Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I don't understand anything.
Yeah, precisely. You got it. Like a little bit of that, and a little bit of like what was that the pink? I think he's supposed to be like a leopard or something. The Hanna-Barbera one, Snagglepuss.
Oh, Snagglepuss.
Oh yeah.
So he's a little bit Snagglepuss. Yeah, a little bit Mad Hatter. Occasionally, I've accidentally dipped into Miss
Jared
Doubtfire
Leto?
a couple of times. Cool. All right. Good work, Gorbor. So the giant is going to focus. He's going to focus his attention on getting this gate open. So let's see how that goes.
He also can't see Torgor, which was
That's right.
kind
All
of
right. He's still struggling with it. Like I said,
Yes.
50-50. So. And he's like just pulling on the gate, and the gate's clicking and like slowly like trying to raise off the ground, but it's not meant to be used this way.
Critically failed. Could he have maybe chipped a fingernail while trying to a robot fingernail?
Yeah,
While
he's
engaging
definitely
with activity?
embarrassed by the fact that he is
Good.
not able to lift. He's like, I'm a giant. This is what I do. I lift
He
things.
just
I break
powers
stuff."
down.
You look over him
Everyone
and he's
else
just like,
feels embarrassed for him.
Yeah.
Winnegar's just like, that's rough, buddy.
It's rough.
That's rough. I really feel that.
Okay, so the thralls, I think like they're pretty dumb for the most part. Let me see how smart they are. Like, oh yeah, they're not very smart. Okay, so this one is going to land near Road and try to attack Road. It's just lashing out in the dark. So it's gonna make a claw attack. It has advantage because you're blind, but disadvantage because it's also blind. It gets an 8, so you feel its claws whistle past you in the dark.
Okay.
And then Gorbor, this one is gonna fight back, the one that you're fighting with. And it gets a 21, so it hits Gorbor.
It's okay.
And it
He's a beefy boy.
deals 7 slashing damage to Gorbor. Okay. And then the other two, they are going to begin dragging Torgor away.
I want them to drag the old woman away. Like I want
By
them
accident?
To
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a really. I'll make a check. That's a great point. So they're like fumbling around in the dark, looking for Torgor.
We just grab an old lady.
Tack secretly saves us.
Okay, all right. I got a 16. So I think they do figure one of them. Like we see his claws like grab the old lady's face, and he's like, "Nah, that's not a minotaur." And then he turns to Torgor.
I did
So
grab
close.
onto Torgor. Can I'm so fucking weak, but can I still kind of try and make
Oh
some
yeah,
sort
yeah, yeah. Because you don't have anything in your hand, so you can just.
No.
So in the dark, we can't see any of this. You just hear we
Anchor
just hear
yourself.
grunting and like. So you grab Torgor, by the legs, and they grab Torgor's arms, and they try to pull him away from you. Okay, so there's two of them.
so fucking weak.
They're
Oh,
also
no.
pretty weak, right? These are little flying like servitors. They're not meant to be like
I
big
hope
fighters.
Both have -1 to our rolls.
You do, but
Block
they
your-
have advantage because there's two of them. So
Yeah.
I got a 16. The number to beat is a 16.
You can
All right,
do it.
everyone.
Come on,
I've been
Red.
rolling so well lately. So
Ragdoll against the ground.
Yeah.
let's just get
Got it.
wily.
They
You
can't
got
lift both of you.
Also very true. Oh!
You got a 20, so strong. Okay, so those thralls, they just whine, and literally again going with the weird flying pug goblin metaphor, like they're playing tug of war with you. They're pulling on him and like trying to get him away from you, and they can't. And they howl for help, and so this other thrall comes flying down to land and run in. And as it does, the Rakdos, I guess let me see. So he flies down here, and he goes over to where Grandma is, and the Rakdos Blade Juggler is going to attack him because he can see him as he comes in because he can see out of the thing. This is a free for all after all, and the Juggler gets an 18 and deals that thrall 6 damage. Get out of the way, Grandma. Okay. You're going on the map, Grandma. There we go. Okay. All right. Scoops is still unconscious. The other blade jugglers, I guess this one wakes Scoops up. So you hear, Winnegar, you hear like, Scoops, man, wake up. And then you hear Scoops be like, oh, what happened? Where's that stupid Simic? Why is it so dark? So Scoops gets woken up this turn, but he's still prone, and that's what the other one's doing. And then this blade juggler stumbles out into the light, and I don't think he can't see you, Winnegar, because the wall of shadow is in the way. So he stumbles out there, And that's pretty much it for the blade jugglers, I think. Most of the ones up. Oh, there's two in the stands. So they're going to jump down. And then over here. They're just assembling into douchebag Voltron down here.
Is there a Chuck Palahniuk reading over here, or
Every single one of them has a Jared Leto shirt.
Now I just want to fill an entire screen with this token. Just like so many.
God. Always terrible.
It's our personal hell. If we go to Avernus, 100%.
All right, so Tack, you're still like looting?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know me.
Okay.
Make another survival roll.
Now, are you looking for? Are you focusing on like people who have been killed and are not yet looted, or are you like going to break into like dressing rooms? Because like back here, you're backstage now, and so there's probably there's probably like a long table with candles burning, and then there's like burnished mirrors and like a bunch of clown makeup and yeah.
I think somebody in the chat said Rakdos incel squad assemble.
Oh God.
It's the new Joker screening. That's what's happening in that corner. Oh, sorry.
You erased that.
Did you say delete that comment? I'm sorry.
No, play devil's advocate.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. Back on topic. Dang. There's nobody in the dressing room?
No, everybody's gonna run off.
Yeah, I want some.
You have free reign. You can run around back here.
Yeah, I want pokies, slashies, or fire makies.
Yeah.
Or if there's a pew pew, I want pew pew as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that hanging, since what did you get on your survival? You got a 15?
Oh, 15.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I mean a 27.
So I think back here you're looking around and you're like, this is a bunch of garbage, like just people's clothes and like nothing, and you're digging, and on the back of one of the chairs in the dressing room, there is there's a belt hanging off of the back of it, and there's a sheath hanging from the belt, and like a knife sheath, and there is a curved dagger in there, and then you can't really see the blade or anything, but the handle is wrapped in like red leather, and then the pommel is it's like carved ivory, maybe in the shape of like a jester, like a jester's head. So it's like a smiling face with sharp teeth, and then the little like hanging like bell hat.
Okay, dorky and weird, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean it's a Rakdos knife, but yeah. So you want to grab it, and it's clearly it's to you because you're used to digging through garbage for valuables, so it's clear to you at a glance that it's both valuable and magical. It is definitely a magic knife. Yeah.
A magic slashy.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what you find digging around back here. And I think that probably as your turn ends, as you like take the knife and like secret it away, you hear footsteps. And not like running, not like chaos fighting footsteps, but you hear like regimented, like not marching, but like a handful of people moving in step, and the sounds of like armor and weapons like jingling, like somebody coming down the hallway from outside.
Oh,
There's
God.
cops? Are these
Basically what's gonna happen is we're just gonna be in this arena until every single guild is involved in this fight. We'll just keep and then some Selesnians show up, and then but somebody is definitely coming, Tack.
Golgari come up to scoop the dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't super love that. I think Tack is going to attempt to hide while holding their stun wand that they got from somebody else's dead body.
Yeah. I think your whole inventory is just stolen stuff. Yeah. Okay, make a hide check.
Yay. 3.5, I missed you. Oh, that's Gorbor's sheet. Yeah, Gorbor's not gonna help.
Oh wow, so
28.
stealthy.
So stealthy.
Okay. So
I'd like to do what I do best.
Yeah, right. Okay. So 28 for stealth.
Ditch my friends and hide in the trash.
Okay. So So you're gonna hide out, which means, and I think probably you just like jump into a locker, right? Like there's lockers where they have this stuff. So you jump into a locker. It smells just like very, very strongly of Axe body spray.
Wait, is it the one that smells like chocolate?
So here, no, this would be like the one that smells like energy drink. So you jump in. Here's the thing: you close the locker, and you're like, "Oh, God, it smells horrible in here." And you look up, and on the inside of the locker, you see a photograph of Scoops, and he has his arm around a redheaded like an angel. And she looks really uncomfortable, and it's clear that the two of them are at some kind of like fan meetup or something. She has like beautiful gold armor with the Boros sigil, and he's like smiling and like got his whole arm around her, and she's just standing there like, okay, cool, this is happening.
Okay, so this is Scoops' locker?
You are in Scoops' locker, yes.
Do I have like a free action? Can I do a free action?
What do you want to do?
I want to poop in this locker.
Okay, good. I like that
pooping a free action.
Your reaction to like
it might take more than 6 seconds.
I'm in Scoops' locker. Wait a second.
Not when I'm stuck in Scoops' locker.
We just we pan away. We fade away to the sound and in fact fade to break on the sound of like a belt buckle jingling as you giggle and like start like shimmying out of your pants. Perfect. Excellent. And so on that delightful mental image before Road, you get to take your next turn. We'll take a short break here. And when we come back, Road, I'm sure you will just use your karate to save the day. I believe that's definitely what's going to happen. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.